camp has been great. We have a really big roster, probably our biggest in school history. And what helps with that is just seeing this in camp, we have so much experience back. And really, I'd say the big thing in this camp is how much our players are teaching the young guys. Obviously, the coaches are, but I think one of the biggest things in this camp just has been, the older guys knowing the vision for our offense, defense, special teams, the vision for each position, certainly the vision for the program, and then teaching the guys, the younger guys and the new guys, how to live in that. So great camp, a lot of great older guys really modeling and communicating what we need to do in each position and helping the younger guys. And I think that is the biggest thing I've noticed in this camp so far. Yeah, when you look at our offense, on paper it'll say 10 returning starters, but in our minds we have even more than that. And really, we'll start at quarterback, Logan Pfeiffer, his third year starting now. Second team all-conference last year, leading us to undefeated regular season. I always feel the biggest thing with quarterback is you want a winner. And what he did last year, leading us to 11 wins, a playoff win. Excited to have him back. And right next to him, Nico Flatty, the first team all-conference running back from a year ago, leading the way, leading ball carrier for us a season ago. So those two returning in the backfield. Fullback, we get Robert Tamburino back for his fourth year starting, and Anthony Burnett. Sometimes we'll go double H back. So that's where I say we have more than 10 starters back, because Anthony is a starter in certain sets that we have. So both, we call them fullbacks because that's how we treat them. But those H backs who play as fullbacks, both of them back. Out wide, our four top leading receivers, led by Scott Frazier, first team all conference. And then Ryan Heckathorn and Daniel Sullivan and Ryan Lenhart. So all four receivers back. And then up front, we do graduate a guard, but we really view all five as returning starters, because Brady Brungard, Dalton Ford, Nate Brady started every game last season. And then Dylan Lane, who's a 3-year starter, got hurt in the second half of the year last year at tackle. And Luke Jolly stepped in and played great down the stretch, great in the playoffs. So Dylan bumps into guard and Luke now at tackle. So really all 11 returning starting experience, and guys that may not be listed as a starter really are in certain sets, like Anthony Burnett and Ryan Lenhart. So a lot to be excited about on offense. Yeah, so defensive line, we return all three starters. So Bryce Spoltnick, Kobe Bonanno, Jordan Karcheski. All three up front back, and then key guys who would come in and spell them back as well. But we return the whole defensive front. At linebacker, Jack Jolly and Ben Bladel are back. Jack Jolly, an all-conference linebacker, and Ben Bladel, All-American player, and led the country in sacks, or tied for it a season ago. Just special to have him back. The other linebacker spot, Caleb Brubaker, a transfer in who really has stepped up and has been repping with first team reps. And behind him, Seth Rosenberry, Michael Walliser, also in the mix, defensively, obviously on special teams, but also at linebacker. And then in the secondary, we're excited to get Ryan Montgomery back. He was hurt last year. He started 2 years ago, but he's back at safety. Shea Aiken back at safety, who played a lot last year. Jason Minch, returning starter at safety. Bowden Davidson, a returning starter at corner. And then a number of guys for that other corner spot. We have guys back with experience, Jack Steinmetz, Trenton Rupp. And right now we have a freshman in the mix as well, Noah Wheeler, who's been competing at that other corner spot. So a lot back and some exciting newcomers. Yeah, starts with Daniel Berbe. He's our punter. A great season a year ago, and he's back. He's really the leader among those special team group right now. A number of quality long snappers. Derek Lambert's one that stands out right now. We graduate CJ Otwell, and he's been doing a great job repping with the first group right now. And there's others who can compete with him there. And then kicker, we have a number of guys as well who are returning, and one that's standing out right now is Daniel Sullivan, our receiver, actually. We recruited him as a specialist. He stepped up as receiver and is doing an amazing job with kickoff duties and extra point field goals right now. So could be a number of different guys, but those three stand out at this time. Yeah, so Bowden Davidson, we've always had corners. Gabe Dunlap a year ago, Jacob Ross in the past. It's always been corners who have been electric for us in punt return, kick return, and we expect Bowden to take a big role there. So he's really the feature guy right now, with a lot of others in the mix to be back there, both in kick return and punt return. Yeah, the President's Athletic Conference, I feel like we say this year in and year out, and I'd say this year, I think it's as strong as it's ever been. I don't know if there's a year coming into this season where uh, there's not just a bunch of teams competing for the PAC title, but teams that can compete really, I feel, with anyone in the country. I just think about what we did last year in the playoffs, what CMU did the year before, and certainly CMU is a great place to start in this league. I mean, they have so many guys back on a team that really has lost one regular season game in the last 2 years. And then you got W&J as strong as ever. Year in and year out, they're a power. And Case Western, Westminster, same as well. I mean, that was the top five last year, and pretty much everybody has their key players back. And that's not even to mention, I could go through every single team in the conference right now and how strong this league is. But I would say the PAC on a national stage is as strong as it's ever been as far as having multiple teams receiving top 25 votes and in the mix. So this conference is deep, and it's just going to be exciting to see. And I'll say this too, from what I've heard, how Joe Ndurko at our media day said, 5 different conference champions in the last 7 years. And I just think that gives you a picture of how exciting this league is right now. Yeah, I mean, keys for us, number one, is to truly live in our identity. It's easy to say that, not always easy to do it. And last year we did it. I mean, we have a vision for our offense, defense, and special teams. And over the course of an entire regular season, there wasn't one game where we got away from being who we are. And that's hard to do, and that's hard to replicate. We know that. That's why, biggest thing for us, number one, is to just know who we are, and we've identified that, but to live in it each and every week. Second, there are always key factors that determine a football game. And last year, we worked really hard to do the basic things you would expect. Take care of the football, eliminate explosive plays from the opponent, make explosive plays within ourselves. I mean, just so many things that factor in situational football. And we did that really well. So those situations, those factors continue to be at our best in those pressure situations like we did a season ago. That's something we're really working towards. So know our identity, be who we are, and then pretty much second, be at your best when it matters most, talking about those key situations and key factors. I mean, those are our 2 big keys that we got to focus on and live in. And for us, there's a lot of expectation, which is exciting, but I always remind our guys, the message is the same, whether we're coming off 0-10 or 10-0, and that's focus on our vision, not our circumstance, good to great each rep, 1-0 each week. And I think if we keep that simple mentality, that focus, that puts us in the best chance to be successful.